Displacement, 3,250 metric tons. Length, 378 feet, beam, 43 feet, draft, 15 feet, ship's power, 2 550 kW diesel generators. 1 500 kW solar gas generator. Propulsion. 2 Fairbanks Morse 12-cylinder diesel engines generating 7,000 horsepower, 2 Pratt & Whitney gas turbines producing 36,000 horsepower, speed, 33 miles per hour, range, 16,000 miles, endurance, 45 days, ship's complement, 167. Boutwell conducted the largest at-sea rescue ever achieved, when she rescued more than 500 people from the burning cruise ship Prinsendam in the Gulf of Alaska. When the 43-foot halibut fishing vessel Comet sank in the Bering Sea approximately 25 nautical miles northeast of Dutch Harbor, Alaska, after her engine room flooded, Boutwell rescued her crew of 4 after they had been in the water for only 4 minutes. In 1998, Boutwell made the largest high seas drift net arrest in Coast Guard history. Boutwell participated in the 2003 invasion of Iraq. She defended the oil terminals off the coasts of Iraq and Iran. For her many accomplishments and continued excellence, Boutwell received the Admiral John B. Hayes Award for Unit Excellence. In 2005, she seized 28,000 pounds of cocaine, valued at over $900 million, using the newly developed Go Fast response team. With the help of a helicopter from the new Helicopter Interdiction Tactical Squadron. In 1973, as part of a destroyer cruiser flotilla, Chase participated in Operation Seaconex. 1981 Chase participated in the Mariel boat lift, rescuing Cuban civilians in District 7. Between 1974 and 1978, Chase continued to patrol the waters of the Atlantic. In 1998, Chase departed with USS Russell, USS Crommelin, and USS O'Brien for military interdiction operations, MIO, in the Persian Gulf. During this patrol, Chase diverted 4 vessels in violation of United Nations sanctions against Iraq, interdicted 1,527,740 gallons of fuel oil, and conducted 86 gunnery exercises. In 1999, Chase seized 7 metric tons of cocaine, then the second largest cocaine bust in Coast Guard history. In her earlier years, Dallas collected meteorological and oceanographic data while on Ocean Station as part of the GATE project, and she assisted commercial aircraft crossing the Atlantic Ocean. During 7 combat patrols off the coast of Vietnam, Dallas undertook 161 gunfire support missions involving 7,665 rounds of her 5-inch ammunition. This resulted in 58 sampans destroyed and 29 Viet Cong supply routes, bases, camps, or rest areas damaged or destroyed. In 1980, Dallas was the command ship for the historic Mariel boat lift, during which 125,000 Cuban refugees set sail for the shores of Florida. During the Haitian migrant crisis of 1991-92, Dallas performed as the flagship of a flotilla of 27 Coast Guard cutters that rescued 35,000 migrants from hundreds of overcrowded, unseaworthy vessels. Dallas received a Humanitarian Service Medal and another Coast Guard unit commendation for her efforts. Following the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001 on New York and Virginia, Dallas was deployed as part of Operation Noble Eagle off the coast of the southeastern United States. Her mission was to interrogate and board vessels entering U.S. waterways. Galatin's missions included enforcement of all U.S. maritime laws and treaties, fisheries conservation, marine pollution response, defense readiness, and search and rescue. Galatin served with the United States Coast Guard until March 31, 2014, when she was decommissioned. On 7 May, she was transferred to the Nigerian Navy and renamed Okpebana. Hamilton had served a variety of missions with distinction. During a 1969-1970 deployment to Vietnam, Hamilton interdicted weapons smugglers and fired more than 4,600 rounds of gunfire in support of U.S. and South Vietnamese troops ashore. From 1965 to 1975, Hamilton served on Atlantic Ocean stations, collecting valuable oceanographic data and conducting frequent search and rescue missions. Hamilton also directed the interdictions of over 21,000 Haitian migrants throughout the Caribbean during Operation Able Manor. In 1994, Hamilton received the Coast Guard Meritorious Unit Commendation for rescuing 135 Haitians from the sea after their sailboat capsized and sank. In 1996, Hamilton transited the Panama Canal and served as the command and control platform for Operation Frontier Shield, a multi-agency effort to curtail the influx of narcotics into the United States. Hamilton intercepted 14 drug-laden vessels carrying more than 115 tons of contraband worth $200 million. In 1999, Hamilton seized over 6,000 pounds of cocaine bound for the U.S. in the eastern Pacific Ocean. Hamilton frequently patrolled the Bering Sea off the Alaskan coast at the maritime boundary line which separates the Russian and the United States exclusive economic zones. Hamilton's presence on the MBL deters foreign fishing vessels from fishing in the U.S. seas. In March 2007, Hamilton assisted Sherman in the largest recorded maritime drug bust in history. The two vessels intercepted the Panamanian-flagged fishing vessel GALATIN in international waters and were able to recover 20 long ton of cocaine, with an estimated street value of $600 million retail. The seizure was the largest drug bust in U.S. history and the largest interdiction at sea. The high-endurance cutter was launched April 24, 1971 at Avondale Shipyard near New Orleans, Louisiana, and was commissioned August 4, 1972 at Honolulu, Hawaii, where she would be based for the rest of her career. During her first Alaska patrol, she was caught in a heavy storm and ran aground in the Bering Sea next to the Aleutian Islands. During a severe storm in November 1972 off the coast of Alaska along the Aleutian Islands, the USCGC JARVIS ran aground after dragging anchor and started to take on water. The ship was holed, but soon repaired, but more violent storm caused further leaking and the engine room to fill with water, disabling the engines. Back in heavy seas, the ship experienced severe rolls, at one time experienced a 60-degree roll. At 7:04 p.m., for one of the few times in Coast Guard history a mayday call for help would come from a Coast Guard vessel. July 1990 and December 1992. JARVIS completed her final cruise in late September 2012, and was removed from active service the following week. In March 1970, MELLON was involved in pursuit of mutineers involved in the SS Columbia Eagle incident during the Vietnam War. In February 1974, MELLON played a major role rescuing the crew of the Italian supertanker Giovanna Lallighetti. In October 1980, MELLON assisted in the rescue of over 400 passengers and crew of the MS Prinsendan, a luxury liner in distress in the Gulf of Alaska. The Midget was commissioned on March 17, 1972. She had another commissioning ceremony on August 21, 1972 at Treasure Island in San Francisco Bay. This was soon after reaching her first home port of Alameda, California. Her responsibilities include homeland security, search and rescue, maritime law enforcement, and alien migrant interdiction operations, as well as maintaining military readiness in support of NATO allies and the U.S. Navy. One of 10 high-endurance cutters on the West Coast, her normal patrol areas include the Bering Sea, Gulf of Alaska and Central American waters, enforcing the Magnuson Fishery Conservation and Management Act, 200-mile or 320-kilometer limit, and drug interdiction laws. From 1970 to 1971 the Morganthau served in Vietnam, a participant in the U.S. Navy's Operation Market Time. In 1977 Morganthau moved to the Pacific side of the United States and homeported at Integrated Support Command Alameda, California. The cutter homeported in Alameda until December 2012. In January 2013 Morganthau sailed to her new homeport in Honolulu, Hawaii after a December 13, 2012, hull swap with the crew of the USCGC JARVIS. JARVIS was slated for decommissioning and transferred to a foreign navy. In 2016 the U.S. Coast Guard announced that on April 18, 2017 that the Morganthau would be decommissioned at its home port in Honolulu, Hawaii. On April 18, 2017, USCGC Morganthau was decommissioned at the Coast Guard Station Sand Island, /Honolulu, Hawaii. Post-decommissioning, after removal of classified equipment and specified weaponry the Morganthau was designated for purchase by Vietnam. Named for signalman First Class Douglas A. Munro, the only Coast Guardsman to be awarded the Medal of Honor. Douglas Munro's first homeport of Boston, Massachusetts. The stay in Boston was not to last long, as Douglas Munro shifted to a new homeport of Seattle, Washington on August 29, 1973. In 1986 Douglas Munro interdicted the motor vessel line Island Trader, which had been attempting to enter the U.S. with 4.5 tons of marijuana. In 1997, the cutter seized the Russian fishing trawler Chernyayevo in the Bering Sea for violation of the Magnuson-Stevens Fisheries Conservation and Management Act of 1976, setting an important precedent for law enforcement along the U.S.-Russian maritime boundary. Douglas Munro interdicted a Mexican vessel, seizing 11.5 tons of cocaine, one of the largest drug seizures in Coast Guard history. In 1999, the cutter seized a motor vessel carrying 259 illegal Chinese migrants. In 2003, the cutter interdicted the fishing vessel Candia with 4 tons of cocaine. In 2003, the cutter interdicted 2 go-fast boats with 2 tons of cocaine using warning shots across the bow of one with an MH-68 Stingray helicopter interdiction tactical squadron. USCGC Rush, WHEC 723, was a United States Coast Guard high-endurance Hamilton-class cutter that before being decommissioned was based out of USCG Base Sand Island, Honolulu, Hawaii. She performed regular patrols of Alaskan waters and the Bering Sea. Rush has the distinction of having ridden out the most powerful storm, at least in terms of depth of pressure, in modern history. October 25, 1977, under command of Captain Norman Fernald, Rush sustained damage to her sonar dome and superstructure, but completed her patrol. CGC Sherman was originally homeported in Boston, Massachusetts, where her primary mission was Ocean Station Patrol in the North Atlantic. Sherman was assigned to Coast Guard Squadron 3 in Vietnam. Her tasking during the conflict was primarily in support of Operation Market Time, which involved sorting through hundreds of small vessels off the Vietnamese coast in search of enemy weapon smugglers. Sherman's crew inspected some 900 vessels during her 10-month tour in Southeast Asia. The 5-inch gun answered 152 calls for naval gunfire support, including a running fight on the night of November 21, 1970, which resulted in sinking the North Vietnamese armed freighter SL-3, which was carrying tons of enemy munitions. Sherman seized the 275-foot Panamanian freighter Don Emilio and confiscated 82 tons of marijuana, the largest drug seizure in history at the time.